if the Maple Leafs elect to trade Mitch Marner. According to Frank Seravalli, the Leafs could be players for Jake Guentzel. If the Leafs trade Mitch Marner, they could be players, is the direct quote from his latest article on dailyfaceoff.com. I'm in love with the player. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. If it were to happen, I would be ecstatic, Rosie.
Yeah. I just don't think he's going to be available for long enough. I don't think a Mitch Marner deal is going to get done before someone offers Jake Guentzel what he's looking for. I just don't think it's fun. It's fun thinking, wishful thinking, all that. But I don't, a lot has to happen. A lot has to happen before that goes down. I hope something happens at the draft and the Maple Leafs announce a trade. Oh my God, like one of those historic things. It would be if a player of that ilk and they move him along and open up this or that. But like, so what do? You trade Mitch Marner, get something in return, which isn't going to be as much as Mitch Marner, and all the doughheads out there that don't really know how hockey works are going to go, those two guys aren't as good as Mitch Marner. They didn't replace his point production. Well, no shit. And then you go and are able to be in the hunt for a Guentzel. That would be cool. I just don't know if that's going to happen, but it's fun when stuff like that breaks. I don't know who's talking to who, and I always take these things with a grain of salt because you could throw out anything in the world. Alex Ovechkin is willing to move away from Washington. Where was, like, okay, cool line, nice, like, believe it when I see it. But I don't know. Again, something's going to happen at this draft or trade deadline, or sorry, free agency. Something's going to happen that's going to be fairly big. I don't know how big, but anything's possible. It would be neat to get a guy of his ilk because of his experience level, because of his clutch factor, because of he knows what it's like. Again, you know, I just talked about, you know, the Maple Leafs history in the playoffs and what we're watching right now and the difference in that. Jake Guentzel knows the difference. He knows where you have to go. Marner and Matthews and Nylander and Tavares, those guys don't know what it's like. They don't know how high you have to elevate. They don't know what it feels like. They don't know what the energy is or the vibe. They don't know what it takes. They just don't. And nobody could unless you get there. I don't know what it takes. I just can look at it and say, holy smokes, is that ever a high level? But those guys haven't, like, I'm not playing. It's irrelevant what I think and feel. Those guys have to actually get there physically and live it in reality. That's what they're trying to do. And to get a guy like Jake Guentzel, who's like, fuck, I did this with Sid, man. I know what this is all about. I know what the prep looks like. I know what your mental state looks like. I know what the recovery is like. And it would be great to have on the roster to push, because you're looking at this little Jake Guentzel going, shit, he's doing it. I have to do it. You have to have someone that's done it. And I know we tried with Schenner and with Ryan O'Reilly and stuff. It didn't quite pan out, but you got to keep going in that direction of getting people that understand what it's like. And Jake Guentzel is certainly one of those guys. Just whether we can get him on the roster or not, I have my reservations.
The scary thing is these guys have been nowhere close to knowing what it feels like. They said they were close after going to Game 7 in round 1 with the Boston Bruins, but I can't envision a scenario the Maple Leafs are playing hockey well into the month of June. I think they're far off, but I agree with everything you said on Jake Guentzel. 29 years of age, plays the wing, 2-time 40 goal scorer, 7 straight 20-plus goal season, 38 goals in 69 career playoff games. The big one for me, won the Cup in 2017 with the Pens. He's going to command around 8.5 to 9.5 sheets per season. It sounds like Vancouver is going to be hot in this guy. There's going to be so many teams in on Jake Guentzel. I just don't see a fit. But can you imagine a world Guentzel and Matthews on the same line, man? That would be scary.
Yeah, it'd be dirty. It would be. A lot of guys playing with Austin would be solid. I'd like a playmaker with him who can get him the puck and, you know, find some juju with him. But it's funny how there's guys that you look at and you go, you know, they have this world-class production and then nothing in the playoffs, and other guys that have like okay production and then world-class in the playoffs. And which guy would you rather have on your team, right? And I think we've got a lot of the former, and we're looking for more of the latter on this team right now. Not a knock on anybody, but just so happens that we happen to have a big group of guys, and they are the big guns, and they command the majority of the salary cap, and they don't really have, you know, the reputation of elevating in the playoffs. Like, it's pretty black and white. They shit their pants in the playoffs every bloody year and don't go anywhere. What else are you supposed to say? Are you supposed to pretend that doesn't happen? I'm sorry. There's guys like Jake Guentzel who it's like, oh, here's his points per game. Here's his production. Yeah, that's pretty good. look what he does in the playoffs. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's a guy who gets it, understands, and can elevate his game when it matters the most. We need guys like that.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.